Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the St. Louis Mustangs game. Irving Mustangs, St. Louis team had some technical difficulties, and glad we were able to sort it out. Beautiful day, a little warm, pretty open skies. St. Louis, having won the toss, decided to bat. Uh, Score the second over here, 19 for the loss of one wicket. Beautiful cover drive. Got on top of it. Looked really good, elegant. I mean, playing it towards extra covers. Pretty clean, middling the ball. Effortless boundary there. And that brings the end of over number two. Loss of one wicket, 23 for the loss of one wicket. End of two overs. And again, St. Louis having won the toss, deciding to bat. But Cockley from the Mustangs team started off with the first over. The batsman, the St. Louis side, I mean, a pretty good 6 and a 4. Nicely lofted six over covers, and then repeated that shot with a beautiful boundary as well. It's a great start for them. But the start of his second over, beautiful ball, good length on the off stump. Batsman playing very cautiously, getting behind the ball, looking pretty clean, pretty good, very confident, playing it back to mid off. Dhruv, the batsman on strike. Sort of straying it down the leg. Huge appeal for caught behind. Ball was down the leg side. Feels like there was some sort of a noise and perhaps was off the thigh pad. Loud appeal though. Umpire clearly not interested, but did indicate it may have been off his thigh pad. Still not quite settled, but with his line and length, in the second over, full Fuller ball straight to the fielder at cover. A sitter. Batsman not quite. I'm sorry, the fielder, Rahman Dar, I believe, not quite judging it. Perhaps just a little touch relaxed. A sitter, straightforward catch to covers, and he dropped it. Well, that's the kind of tension, nerves that you need this level of the game. But no excuses. That catch should have been taken. And a very important wicket as well. A short and land ball. Very comfortable single, tucking it towards square leg short mid wicket region. Hopefully that catch won't come back to haunt the Irving Mustangs team. But that's cricket. At times, you tend to slightly kind of lose focus, and it does happen. But then again, as they say, catches win matches. It's important to make sure you convert them. Short in length ball. Batsman shuffling across, trying to sort of play that towards the mid-wicket area. Ended up playing towards point. And the fifth ball, I believe, from Burt. Wonderful cricketer, has some good sheer pace. Was initially drafted in as a coach, and the team didn't shy away from leveraging his talent. Generate some good pace. Still trying to get into a rhythm, though, today. A no ball called. Overstepping. And we all know what that means. A free hit. What will it be? Be interesting to see what's Burt thinking. Is that going to be a Yorker length delivery, or maybe a low full toss, or perhaps a shot in length? And what's the batsman thinking? I'm sure is strategizing in parallel as well. A short ball is predicted. Batsman takes a heave at it, didn't quite connect, lobbed it towards the backward point, third mid region. And with that conclusion of the third over, the score is 26 for the loss of 1 wicket. Dhruv batting on 6. Luke on 6 as well. Not a bad start. 1 wicket down. Obviously, the need to kind of take a little cautious approach early on and then try and capitalize, right? I mean, it's about putting up a good total, and I'm sure that's what St. Louis is thinking about. A beautiful shot. Nicely getting behind the ball. A short and length delivery. Tucks it. I mean, effortless. Playing it towards, the long leg region for 4 runs. Looked very comfortable. Luke was the batsman. Looked very confident. Looked very comfortable with that shot. Quickly getting behind the ball. Tucking it. Pretty good hands. Quick action. A beautiful boundary. Abhiram's not been able to settle down as well. First over, sprayed it a little wideish, short in length. Needs to get a good line and length here. A beautiful shot. A huge 6 in the cover region. Luke's doing the damage. Looks very comfortable, looks very confident. Sees the ball early on. Doesn't hesitate. Goes after it. Shortish length ball. Beautiful hit over extra cover region for 6 runs. A wonderful start. I bet that's exactly what St. Louis was looking for. Needs a little more discipline as far as bowling's concerned. Shortish ball again. Kind of sneaked in after trying to defend it. Went over the stumps. Umpires today, renowned international umpire Samir Banderkar, great umpire, brings in some excellent credentials, lots of experience, first class in international games as well. And with him, another local talent, Parth. And of course, our third umpire today, Aziz Sowell, another great local talent. A great shot. Beautiful cover drive. Unlucky in certain ways. Stops right before the boundary, but did look classy. Beautiful cover drive between Whitish, mid-off, and the cover fielder. Luke looking really good. Striking the ball at will. Some thinking. I'm sure there's some thinking that Abiram is having to do. What's it gonna be? Whitish, short and length ball again. Luke tries to keep it down, play in the cover region. Speaking of which, you have a gully point, a backward point, short cover, whitish mid-off, short fine leg, short long leg, actually pretty square. Got a mid-wicket, deep mid-wicket, and of course a third man. Short and length again. Luke looking to step out, trying to take the ball early on, then quite get the room or width. So that brings in the end of over number 4, 38 for the loss of 1 wicket. Luke batting on 18 of 13 deliveries and was dropped once. Certain ways doesn't matter. It's T20 cricket. I stand corrected. It was Dhruv who got a chance. Luke's playing great. Looks terrific. Looks very confident. And Dhruv's batting on 6 of 7 balls with 1 boundary. But back in the attack, bowling his 3rd over. A beautiful McKinney field, one of the best fields here in Dallas, Texas. Short in length. On the off stump, Dhruv playing very cautiously. Looked very comfortable playing it towards backward point. I think it's kind of important for the bowlers to pitch it up a little. Right now on both ends, both bowlers tending to bowl a little short. Attacking the body is one thing, but when you have width, it does create chances for the batsman. Huge heave there, a good length ball. Beautiful ball indeed. Dhruv trying to hit it over straight, actually. Didn't quite connect. Slight misfield by Mir. Another great under-19 talent, part of the U.S. under-19 team, USA reserves. A good bat as well. Shot and length again, lob to point, and this time Rahman doesn't make any mistakes. Takes it very comfortably, and that brings the end to Dhruv's innings. So it's Rahman there again, obviously making amends to the previous chance, but intelligent bowling, shot and length, more on the body. Looked predetermined on Dhruv's side. Was trying to go after it. The ball did stand up a little, so didn't quite have the width or the line to be cleared or hit, right? So I stand corrected. That was Luke. Very important wicket. Looked very comfortable. Played some classy shots. Huge wicket. And I'm sure the Mustangs are glad to see the back of him. Very unfortunate for the St. Louis team. But the short innings there from Luke, I mean, he looked great. He looked terrific. Very aggressive. Wasn't like he was just swinging his bat. He was picking his shots. Looked very good. Looked very comfortable. against pace bowling. Very unfortunate. And with that, the new batsman and the skipper of the St. Louis team, Jacob. Cautious, playing a safe shot, kind of steering it, guiding it towards the whitish third man, backward point fielder. So that was Jacobus Abraham PNR again, the skipper of the team. A classy shot there. Beautiful shot. Shot in length, whitish, off the off stump, and batsman not shying away or wasting any time there, getting behind the ball, and a beautiful square cut between the gap. A little slow outfield, typically is pretty quick. Normal circumstances, that would have been a 4. Good delivery outside the off stump. And that brings the end of over number 5. 42 for 2. It'll be interesting to see if the skipper, Noshitosh, Team USA player, who's leading the side here in the absence of Corey Anderson, who unfortunately couldn't play today due to a personal engagement. And of course, his deputy, Ali Sheikh, USA, Team USA, under 19 player. St. Louis team, although it's been too early in the season, I mean, have already shared a reputation of being a very young, talented side, very athletic, loads of talent. Had a pretty good outing last weekend. And that's Wakas. Starting proceedings for over number 6. Ball's off spin. Great start. A good length delivery. Dhruv playing cautiously, getting behind the ball. Watchfully defending it. Back to cover fielder, Nosh. A good ball again. Trying to play towards mid-on. Did react to see if there was a possibility of single. The non-striker quickly, rightfully refusing the run. Whitish offside the ball. Smart batting there by Dhruv. Played it over the backward point fielder, who was pretty much on the 30-yard circle, easily clearing the fielder for a boundary. Smart batting. But he did recognize that there was a fielder on the 30-yard, so it was important to go over his head. Ended up actually making a great decision. Looked very confident and cleared it comfortably. Good comeback ball there from Wakas. Again, good length on the stumps. Dhruv playing cautiously, defending it back. Straight, and he plays it to mid-off. Looked pretty much like a setup there. Didn't quite look like he took it all the way. The follow-through of his bat was a full-length ball, almost half volley length. Straight to mid-off again. Adnan, the fielder, was inside the 30-yard field, taking that catch very comfortably. I'm sure the Mustangs team wouldn't mind giving away some of those boundaries and getting frequent wickets. For the St. Louis team, I'm sure the next few overs is going to be key to stabilize, be a little watchful, wait for the bad deliveries. It's key to sort of have at least 5-6 wickets in the last 5-7 overs. I'm sure that's what the coach and the captain are going to strategize for. Good start there for the Mustangs from a wicket perspective. 43 for the loss of, I stand corrected, 46 for the loss of 3 wickets. Wakas getting the 3rd wicket, caught Adnan. Slight changes there in the field. And the new batsman in, Unni GP. Jacob on strike. Jacobus. Watchful defense, front foot defense. And that's the end of over number 6. And that also means end of power play number 1. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the other side of the bowling end. Umpire, scorer. Who's it gonna be? And yes, as expected, skipper Noshitosh Kenjige, current Team USA member, the left-arm spinner. He's had some great tournaments in the past, recent past. He's done great on national duty as well. Extremely talented left-arm spinner. Slight change in field there. Shot mid-wicket. He's got a deep square leg, mid-wicket, long on, a long off, a sweeper cover, point, widest short cover, a slip. Not a bad start. Some fine adjustments there being made by the skipper. Comfortable looking single plate towards the sweeper cover region. Good start there by Nosh. Very tight bowling. And I bet that's exactly what he's trying to do. Bring in some variation, hoping the batsman will go after it and make some mistakes. Again, immaculate length there. Probing length, good length. Slightly outside the off stump. Batsman Jacob is playing cautiously. Very good looking shot. On drive, stepping out, getting behind the ball. Nice looking on drive to the fielder at long on. Smart batting there by the skipper. Great bowling there by Nosh, leading by example. Getting a good line and length is going to be key the next few overs. Beautiful delivery there. Got a little kick. 2 runs off that over. Extremely tight over. Leading from the front there, skipper Noshitosh. Great start. And with that, the end of over number 7. 48 for the loss of 3 wickets. Skipper Jacobus and Uni on the non-strikers end. Wakas continue over his second over. Makes perfect sense, having gotten a wicket the previous over. Sort of a setup. Tempted the batsman to go after him for a straight upish drive. Fielder at mid-on taking a very comfortable catch. Good ball. Half volley. Skipper playing very cautiously, looking very comfortable playing it to Whitish, long on. And with that, Uni on strike, facing his first ball from this end. It'll be interesting to see what Uni or what his approach is going to be. Looks very good. His first ball, comfortable single towards the sweeper cover region. With that, he opens his account. Nice looking cover drive. Great fielding there. The fielder, the extra cover, having to jump a little to kind of stop the ball, saving a single. Good bowling there by Wakas, complimenting his skipper. 3 dot balls. I'm sorry, 1 single and 2 dot balls. Skipper going for a reverse sweep, trying to get a little creative here. Good bowling there again by Wakas. Beautiful looking straight drive right in the middle of long off and long on. Didn't quite travel to go for a 4. Long off, Adnan doing a great job to cover ground and be able to just give the skipper a single. Great ball, played very comfortably. No run, and that's the end of over number 8. The score 51 for the loss of 3 wickets. Again, just a beautiful day for cricket, slightly on the warmer side. And with me as a patron, a member of the team contingent, the Irving Mustangs, a renowned physician, sports specialist, doctor, a cricketer himself, a wonderful batsman, huge supporter of cricket here in Dallas. Absolute pleasure to have him here right next to me, Dr. Sai Mahathir. Dr. Sai, welcome to the game.
Thanks, Shanaz bhai. It's a pleasure to be here. The start of the 9th over. Nash bowling wide of the off stump. Batsman square drives at the short covers. Well played. Good late cut for a single. Flighted ball. Jacobus steps out and lofts it over long off for a 6. The batsman showing some really good footwork to get to the pitch of the ball, not allowing it to spin at all. Misfield at short covers. The batsmen are going to try and get through for 2. tucked in to square leg for a single. That's the end of the over. St. Louis 62 for the loss of 3 wickets in 9 overs. It was a slightly expensive over with Nosh conceding about 11 runs. The Mustangs are going to continue with Wakaz from the other end. He has 2 overs left. Wakaz has a deep square leg and a mid wicket and a long on. As the deep fielders on the onside, a sweeper cover and long off as well outside the circle. The ball was driven down the ground to long off for a single. Flighted up in the slot, driven to covers, no run. Batsmen trying to see if they can get 2 runs with a drive to long off, but Mustangs keep it to a single. Waka is getting through his overs really fast. Um, not giving the ball any flight, trying to push it through. Slight adjustment to the field. Waka's trying to get a short third inside the 30 yards. Ball square driven to the cover boundaries. Fielded there by sweeper cover. They'll scamper through for 2. Let's see what Wakas has in store for the last ball of the over. It's again square driven to sweeper cover for a single. St. Louis are 67 for 3 at the end of 10 overs. They're going at a good rate, although you would expect them to start to pick up the scoring rate the second half of their innings. St. Louis the batsmen are getting a quick drink in. It's a hot day out here. There's a nice breeze going across the ground. It'll be interesting to see how the teams adapt to the second half of the St. Louis innings. Mustangs are going to bring in Ali Sheikh with his left arm orthodox spin from this end. Ali is a promising, exciting under 18 cricketer. Who can bat and bowl. Cabas playing the ball watchfully. Oh, that was a dead ball. Batsman trying to show some intent, trying to heave the ball across down to the mid wicket boundaries for a single. Ali trying to keep it tight, not giving any flight. Balls on middle and leg. Batsman tried to tuck it down. Well kept by Mihir. Comes and collects the ball. Pitches it up, and the batsman takes advantage of the length. Lofts it over long on for a six. That was a pretty shot. Let's see how Ali responds to that six. Good response from the bowler, tucking the batsman for room. Tries to cut it. Goes straight to point. No runs. Oof. Ali getting some good drift. Batsman playing him watchfully. Good ball again. Batsman trying to push for two. They'll easily get it. Driven down just wide of long off. That's the end of the 11th over. And St. Louis are 76 for the loss of 3 wickets. They're going at just about 7 runs an over. They have 9 more overs left. This ground with the thick outfield, they'll probably try and get at least 130 to 140 runs to give the Mustangs a good target to chase. Mustangs bringing in a new bowler from the other end, Adnan. First ball, driven through covers, well fielded by Nosh, who dives across to his right, stops the ball. For what could have been at least 2 to 3 runs, if not a certain boundary. Well flighted delivery, again driven down to the covers where Nosh fields it. Similar delivery, well flighted. The batsman drives it down. This time it gets through Nosh, fielded by long off for a single. The guest here who's going to help me with the commentary, Jay Muthu, who's an avid cricketer and also one of the office bearers with the NTCA. Hey Jay, good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too. Yes, I'm a little bit late, but yeah, it's always fun to watch these type of games. Nice fielding in the backward point. Adnan bowling slightly outside off. Played towards the short third man, no run. And the end of the 12th over, we are St. Louis are 78 for 3. Yeah, like bowling with the wind. Uh, yeah, probably he kept it very tight outside off, and there were some good fieldings within the.
The end of 12 overs and St. Louis are 78 for 3. They're going to try and look to accelerate from here. They have 8 overs left. They'll try to get, like I said, at least 130 to 140 runs.
Yes, I think like 140 would be a good score in this ground. This year, particularly, I have noticed that the ball is traveling a little bit slow, possibly because of heavy rains and also grass has grown really thick. But the field looks really nice, and a nice shot driven towards the cover. Fielded just a single there. So bowler's doing really good job last over and this over, just keeping it tight outside off and inviting the batsman to go over, but batsmen are just playing down and just trying to get singles. And the quicker there, and it is excellent fielding on great fielding by Rahman Dar towards the wider mid-on boundary.
Rahman doing a good job of cutting the ball as it went to the boundary, dived across, and stopped the certain boundary, restricting St. Louis to 2 runs.
Again, a quicker one. Tried probably played down towards the third man area, but missed it. Very good over so far.
Irving are trying to keep to Irving are trying to get through the overs as fast as possible, not giving the batsman enough time to recover or even think about what to do with the next ball. Ali and Adnan have been doing that over the past couple of overs. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, that's a very good point. And just to add, like I felt like the last one, this were the bowlers are particularly trying to bowl outside off and then just not giving the room to the batsman bowling in the middle or like pitching it up to play along with the wind. So this is really nice bowling.
That's very true. Oh,
But this is a great shot coming straight towards us. That is a very nice shot with the wind. We had to literally run from here, but it almost fell on Sai's seat.
batsman heard us on commentary. Just to make a point, he came out and launched that ball straight down the field for a 6. Nice late cut that may run down to the third man boundary. It's cut off over there, restrict them to 2 runs. Looks like that's the end of the over.
Yeah, that's 6. I think he tossed it a little bit, and batsman had all the time to come down the track and hit it over the bowler's head for a straight 6. With that, end of
13 overs.
13 overs, 90 for 3, St. Louis.
They have to start pushing the scoring rate a little. He's now up to 24 runs and 21 deliveries, and Jacobus is at 22 on 24. With 7 overs left, that's 42 deliveries. St. Louis will again try to push the scoring rate now. Let's see what Adnan can do from the other side.
Yeah, I think the key is probably bowling from the north side of the pitch here, and wind is like very it's not stable. Like, it's probably blowing from all the end when we don't know like how it is inside
Yeah.
the field.
It almost feels like the wind's going across the ground, across the pitch, from the east going towards the west. So wind's going to be on the batsman's offside as a right-hand batsman. Adnan, in his last over, gave it plenty of flight. Let's see what he does for this over. He's got three fielders on the boundary on the leg side, deep square leg, mid wicket, and long on. And he's got two on the off, sweeper cover, and long off.
Sai, I think like with the wind and the way he's bowling right outside off, probably he should not have this deep square leg and then have probably deep backward point, because the ground is slightly kind of goes down on this side, on the offside. If the ball travels over the backward point, it is going to go for 4.
I think he's trying to see what the batsman does. Now, again, I think I agree with you. He's keeping the line fairly consistent on slightly around the fifth or sixth stump. That was straight on the middle. Batsman tries to sneak through for a single, but ball's gone to Nosh, who's an excellent fielder. They decide against taking a chance against Nosh. Coming back to what you said, Jay. Yeah, definitely. I think they can strengthen the outside boundaries a little more. Deep back point, given the length. Excellent fielding again by Nosh. Batsman tries to drive the ball through covers. Nosh is like a wall over there. Ball cannot get through him. 3 dot balls on the trot, building some pressure on the batsman. That's another ball, another dot ball, slightly short and on the off. Jacobus tries to cut it towards point, exactly where Jay was mentioning. Adnan pitches it up. Jacobus steps out, drives it straight down for a single. That's 5 balls for a single so far this over. Clearly, St. Louis do not sense any urgency at the moment. Try and get the scoring rate up.
Yeah, probably the way Adnan is bowling, like his, you see a lot of quickers, variations, and all, and there is not enough bounce to like play over. And no ball has been called, probably overstepping there. So free hit. So far, like 5 balls, excellent balls, and then probably Adnan trying to do something different. He oversteps, and let us see how the batsman takes on this ball. But the bowling has been excellent. Yeah, I agree, Sai. Like, I think it's more than like urgency. I think the way Adnan has quickly wrapped up, like bowling quicker. I mean, like between balls, not giving much time and all, for the batsman to think on what to do the next ball.
I wonder if that's a conscious attempt or effort on the part of the Mustangs to not give the batsman enough time to recover or think, just get through the overs as quickly as possible. Interesting strategy. It seems to be working so far.
That was a thick edge that goes directly to Nosh. This is a free hit, so it's not a catch. So end of over number 14. We are 93 for 3. So Jacobus is playing on 23 of 29 balls, and Unni is 25 of 23 balls.
This is a good partnership that they have going. They have scored about 47 runs in 50 deliveries. I think probably the message from the dugout to the batsman now is to keep pushing and get the scoring rate up now. Nosh is back into the attack from the north end. bowled 2 overs so far for 13 runs. I wonder if he's going to try and finish his quota of overs on a trot now, bowling the 15th and the 17th overs. Short delivery, cut through the sweeper cover to come around and get to the ball for 2 runs. Jay, I also wonder if the batsmen are tired now. It's hot. There's a good breeze going across the ground, but it's definitely hot in the middle. They've they've both scored about 25 runs. Have been there for a little bit. I'm sure fatigue must be setting in.
Yeah, I do agree, Sai. It's been like hot and not so humid, but it's still like in the middle. It definitely feels like 3 or 4 degree more than what you feel outside. Definitely fatigue is also might be catching up, and then it's probably difficult to like go down and like take the aerial road.
Wonder at what point Jacobs is going to start upping the rate. He's been content knocking it around. He scored about 24 runs and 30 deliveries so far. Um, Strike rate of about 80. Not what you'd expect in a 2020 game, but he's played the part. He's built a good partnership with Uni. Uni steps out, tries to cut the ball. Nosh kind of saw it coming and shortened the length, but the ball gets through me here. And the batsmen get through for 2 runs.
Yeah, onto Jacobus. I think like you see like he's just stretching. Probably he is feeling the heat and running those singles and doubles quick. It's a little bit tired probably, but I think like he might be targeting the last 3 overs, probably 3 or 4 maybe, because if they start going after the bowling now, and then if you lose some 2 or 3 quick wickets, even those single doubles will be difficult for the new batsman to come in, because all these like slow bowlers are bowling really well. I noticed that Nosh is like his arm, like no, his arm is not straightening up. He's like coming like across, probably to avoid the extra bounce for the batsman to go over the fielders.
Winds picked up slightly, and bails have been dislodged a couple of times. That's the delay with the game. Now back to business as usual. Nosh with the fifth delivery of the over. That was a slight misfield, I think. The batsman scampered through again for 2 runs. It's been a productive over so far. The batsmen who've put on about 55 runs so far. That's a 50-run partnership in 55 deliveries. They have added 8 runs in this over. That's 100 up for St. Louis. They're 101 for 3 in 14.5 overs. Unni tries to heave the ball, take it from outside off, and pull it down to the mid-wicket boundary for a single. St. Louis at 102 for 3 wickets in 15 overs. They're going at about just under 7 runs an over. They've added about 56 runs so far, these two, for the 4th wicket partnership.
Yeah, probably, Sai, you might see some acceleration probably from this over, given that they still have like 7 wickets left. So we have to see like how much risk they take. There is a change in the bowling.
Looks like Adnan's going to continue and finish up his. No, he's got 2 overs. Adnan has 2 more overs left. Had an excellent spell so far. He's bowled 2 overs for 5 runs. No wickets so far. Let's see, something's got to give at this point with 5 overs to go. I'm sure the batsmen have got some message from the dugout during this quick water break.
probably like Adnan is not pushing too much for wicket, and rather than he is looking for dot balls. So again, you see slightly pitched up on the off stump, driven towards long off for a single. So that's a key in a T20. Key in T20 games. I like bowlers tend to go after the wicket, try to take the wicket, try to do something different. I think bowlers should keep it's very simple in a T20 game. Just try to get a dot ball, and let the batsman commit the mistake.
Adnan has been doing that really well so far. He's given one run out of the two balls. The second ball was driven straight back down to him. Third ball, he dug it in a little short. The batsman stepped back and pulls it down to the deep mid wicket fielder who restricts it to a single.
So still two singles of three deliveries in this over so far. Over number 15. 16th, over number 16. Again a quicker there, driven towards the point for a single. Yeah, spinners have really held the match so far for Irving Mustangs. All the three spinners which I have seen bowl really well, not giving too much of room to the batsman.
Definitely. Actually, all four of them, Ali Sheikh, Nosh, Adnan, and Waqas, have been instrumental in checking the batters for St. Louis, and they've restricted them. It's getting to the point where their scoring rate has dipped slightly. Actually, it's come down to 6.6 runs per over. Somehow, I don't see the intent coming through from St. Louis so far. They're content in taking singles. They got 4 runs this over, and that takes the score to 106 for 3 in 16 overs.
Interesting to see the strategy of these batsmen from this over onwards. As Sai mentioned, the run rate has also dipped down, particularly because Adnan has bowled really well. For his 3 overs, he has given only 9 runs so far. That's an excellent effort. Even though probably he did not try to take the wickets, but Birds.
Well, so far by Adnan for 3 overs for 9 runs. Those are figures that you can be envious of even in a one-day game. Forget a T20. This is excellent bowling so far. Birds coming back into the attack from the north end. He's bowled 3 overs so far on the trot for the first at the beginning of the innings. He's going to try and bowl himself out from this end with this over.
So over number 17 coming up for the St. Louis team.
Nosh and Bert are trying to set the field. There's a short discussion in the middle from the Mustangs. They've decided to bring the square leg man from the square leg boundary up into the circle next to the. Well, actually, they have changed their mind again. They're sending the fielder back and then bringing in third man from the boundary up to the circle. It'll be a short third. They still have some protection, mostly in front of the wicket at deep square leg, mid wicket, long on, long off, and sweeper cover. Bert running in. Pulls a short one. Jacobus pulls towards the boundary, just behind square. That goes away for 4 runs.
That was a good shot. Probably he did not connect it well. I felt the hit it on the top of his bat, but still, because of the elevation of the ground and with the wind, probably.
It definitely feels like everybody's been surprised by Bert's pace. There have been a couple of instances where the wicketkeeper was surprised, and I feel like the batsmen are also getting hurried into their shots. So that's
It's a nice shot straight. The ball almost crossed the street across the ground. It's a very good shot, played almost kind of a back foot punch rather. Very good shot played towards the long off boundary.
Definitely, Jai. He kind of backed himself and played through the line and went through with his shot, and with the wind it went all the way. It cleared the boundary and landed on the street next to the ground.
Another shot, slightly short, but the batsman was quickly onto his back foot and pulled another six towards the deep mid wicket boundary. So a very productive over so far. 16 runs of three balls. So Sai, I feel like I mean that extra pace has given them like just time the shot and the ball is going to go automatically with the pace. So probably I think like maybe Nosh should have continued one more and then cut down the pace so that batsmen have to really go hard on the ball.
Definitely, Jay. It also feels like Jacob has heard us and he's picked up the pace of his scoring. He's now up to 42 runs off of 37, now 38 deliveries. That was an excellent ball from Bert. Swung out just ever so slightly, kind of confusing Jacobus. He played and missed the ball. This is the first time this over that the ball has actually done a little bit. It swung out. Let's see what Bert has in store for this ball. So that's a no ball driven down. That just gives St. Louis an extra delivery to face of this free hit.
So you see, Sai, like Bert has started bowling a little bit upish now. Probably is not giving the batsman the room to go back and like play it over the fielder. But again, like no ball, and already like almost 18 runs of the over so far. Played very delicately, played towards the third man boundary, and that is another 4. So excellent over for the St. Louis team so far. 2 4s and 2 6s. So 22 runs in this over so far.
One more delivery left to go this over. And Mustangs have already leaked 22 runs so far. That's an expensive over. And Jay, as we were talking, we were expecting the target to be about 140. St. Louis have already reached 128 with one more delivery left to go in the 17th over.
Ball slightly outside off. Ball swings away further. So a dot to end with, which eventually became a very costly over. I guess that was the costliest over in this inning so far. 22 runs of that over, 128 for 3, end of 17th over. 3 more overs. It will be interesting. Adnan is coming back from the south end.
All right. Looks like it's 129 for 3, 128 for 3 after 17 overs. These two have put on 82 runs of 69 balls so far. They have 3 more overs. That's 18 deliveries to go. I think 150 is probably what they will be looking at the moment as a good score. Jacobus drives it down powerfully. It beats long off to the boundary. That's 4 more runs to St. Louis of the first ball of the over. That just puts the pressure back on the bowlers, Jay.
Exactly, Sai, and that was a very good shot. Like probably as a batsman, you would not think the ball was supposed to be hit for a 4 rather than just drive it for a single. But he had so much of power behind that shot that even the long off fielder did not have an opportunity to stop it. Second ball, slightly pitches it upwards, and that's 50 for Jacobus. 53 of 41 balls. It's an excellent inning. Sai just now 10 minutes ago we were talking like Jacobus strike rate is less than 100, and now these 2 overs so far have changed it drastically.
He's definitely taken the ballers on over the past couple of overs and kind of up the ante now. And that's been a well-paced 50 off of him so far. Tries to late cut, make some room and late cut the ball, but the ball bounces over the stumps. Well collected by Mihir. Let's see, with 3 balls to go. Let's see what St. Louis can do for the rest of the over.
Yeah, that was quite surprise bounce, probably pitching on the seam. Delicately played towards the fine leg region and another 4. So excellent batting by Jacobus, who really shifted the gear in a like a an excellent way. Like, I mean, he was going like super slow, and then now he's like super fast. Like, he's trying to score off every ball and without taking much risk. Like, that's the key here. Like, he has not given any opportunities whatsoever.
Really clean knock so far. He's paced this innings really well, and he's actually coming through for the St. Louis team so far. Yes, he kind of held back through the middle of the innings when the spinners were putting a check on the scoring, but with the end overs coming in, he has really shifted through the gears and has upped his scoring rate. Uni, on the other end, has mostly been a spectator, where Jacob is getting most of the strikes so far. He tries to force this one down to long on boundary, does not connect, and the ball rolls over to the square leg for a single. That's the end of the 18th over. St. Louis at 144 for 3. With 2 overs left to go, what do you think, Jay? 20 more runs?
Yeah, I think like 20 runs definitely on the cards. The way Jacobus is batting now, and even Unni was able to pick up a couple of boundaries there, one boundary at least. So I think they'll be looking for like 160 plus, or probably reach like 170. Depends on like how this over goes. I see Nosh has taken the ball in his hand, so probably he's coming back. Very experienced and excellent left arm spinner. So I'm sure he knows what to do now. So Sai, it will depend on like how Nosh bowls this over.
Definitely, Jay. So Nosh has this over. It'll be interesting to see who bowls from the other end, who bowls the last over. Waqas has 1 over left. Ali Sheikh has 2. And I think they will probably stick to spin on the other end as well. So it'll be one of either Waqas or Ali bowling the last over. Let's see how Nosh bowls this over.
Another ball pitching outside off and dragging the batsman to play over the cover, and then it takes a thick edge and excellent catch by caught by Abhiram towards the backward point, slightly running like 5 to 7 steps back and taking an excellent catch. So a very good innings comes to an end.
Uni scored 40 runs off 34 balls. That was a really good ball from Nosh. Tried to flight it, kind of keep it wide of outside off. Uni tried to step out and try to go over covers and long off. Couldn't fully reach the ball. Top edged it back to short third, where Abhiram completed an easy catch.
Nonetheless, the excellent partnership comes to an end. But the good thing for St. Louis is Jacobus is on strike now, so it would be interesting to see like how Nosh bowls to Jacobus, who is in like full flow right now.
Definitely, it's a battle of wits here. Nosh is a seasoned campaigner, I'm sure so is Jacobus. It'll be interesting to see how Nosh tries to get through this over.
That's a cracking shot. Watch out. that was a cracking shot. I mean, probably it felt like Jacobus was expecting that ball, like a cross arm ball, wide outside off stump, but he was like, it was like a baseball type flat bat six,
Definitely.
straight over the mid of.
Yeah, Jay. I think Nosh tried to kind of keep the ball. Again, he's sticking to that line of balling wide outside the off, but he pulled the length back. I think he was expecting Jacobus to step out a little, but Jacobus stayed in the crease, waited for the ball to pitch, and then just flat battered it straight over Nosh's head for a six.
And also his height, right? It really helps him to reach the wide ball there and middle it. That's a poor delivery bowled onto his leg to the guy who was hitting clean. Pitched over, pitched on his leg, pulled it over the mid wicket boundary for another six. So 2 6 of two deliveries. Nosh would be under tremendous pressure now to do something different here to check the run flow. So St. Louis is like really cruising along now with like 156 for four, and this is the 19th over. Two deliveries gone so far. Another six coming straight. It's a very good shot, right on the middle stump. Jacobus making room and hitting it clean over the bowler's head for a straight six.
Definitely, Jay. I feel like he didn't like what we were saying about his strike rate through the middle of the innings. That is 3 sixes this over so far out of 4 balls.
Yeah, so 76 of 47 in no time. Another six. So Nosh trying to do something different comes over the wicket and still pitches it upish onto Jacobus' leg stump, and Jacobus makes room and hits it over the mid wicket boundary for another six. So 3 6 of three balls. So Sai, what do you think that what Nosh should be doing now?
Nash should be focusing on just finishing this over at this moment. Just get through, try and, I think he's probably Jacobus has figured out what Nosh is trying to do. He's kind of in his head in a bit. Well, Nosh did what he started off the over with by bowling kind of flat outside, wide outside the off. Jacobus just swats it down to sweep a cover for a single. That was an excellent over for St. Louis. They scored about 25 runs this over, and they're at 169 for 4 after 19.
So excellent over from St. Louis perspective for last three overs. They scored like almost 20 runs in all those overs. Like giving them like 60 plus in last three overs. So be interesting to see how Jacobus takes over this over. So who has shifted the gear and really cruising along now. Like those sixes are like just clean hits. Like he's making good room and then just playing it as those balls deserve to be played.
Vakas comes back into the attack for the last over. He's he's bowled 3 overs so far for 12 runs and 1 wicket. This is the last over. Let's see what he has in store for Jacobus. Jacobus, it's a wide. The ball was fired full and wide. Jacobus tries to go clear extra cover, takes an edge, but it clears the short third man that's inside the circle, bounces inside, and then goes over the boundary for 4 runs.
Probably poor choice of bowling their side because three fielders inside the circle on the offside, and then like bowling wide, quicker wide. So that's a very good line, almost yorking the slow yorker. Um, Jacobus plays it back to the bowler Vakas, and that was a good delivery.
4 more balls left this over. Fired down onto the leg stump. Jacobus tries to hit it down to in between deep mid wicket and deep square leg. Tries to get back on strike, but Ryan gets to the ball quickly and powers the throw in, restricting the batsman to a single. 3 balls left in this over, the last 3 balls of the St. Louis innings. Ooh. Shot on the stumps, and Jay kind of rocks back and pulls that ball over deep mid wicket for another 6. St. Louis have gotten to 180 runs with 2 more balls left, and here we were at the 15th over mark thinking they would probably be restricted to about 140 to 150 runs. So that's really good acceleration by St. Louis, and especially Jacobus over the past 2 to 3 overs.
Yes, I the way like Jacobus accelerated from that 1 over of Bird, I think that changed the equation. Um, the pace gave them the opportunity to really go after the ball, and after that, they had that acceleration and the momentum. Another slow ball outside off, but tries to hit towards the long on boundary, but all who could get a single, and that's the end of the over number 20. It is 182 for 4. So St. Louis ends their inning at 182 for 4. But Jacobus is 100 sorry 90 89 with 4 fours and 8 sixes in 53 balls. So you can see 8 sixes of. So Irving Mustangs have to chase 183 to win. We will take a short break of 10 minutes and we'll come back when the second inning starts. Thank you.
Welcome to the second session of the Mustangs, Irving and St. Louis match here at Dallas, Texas. To be more specific, McKinney Cricket Fields, which is, by the way, a suburb of Dallas. Beautiful ground here, slightly on the warmer side. St. Louis done an incredible job, posting a very good total of 176. The skipper on the St. Louis side, Jacob, is leading by example. Some classic clean hitting. It's very guarded, cautious in his first few overs, but set it up beautifully to go after the bowling in the last 3-4 overs. I think they were about 106 with 4 overs to go, and the real damage was in the last 4 overs. Terrific batting by the skipper, Jacobus, who was about 86 runs, not out. Excellent batting, some huge sixers. Middling of his bat. Looked extremely comfortable against the Mustangs bowling. Wonderful start to the season, the second weekend of the minor league cricket championship. Definitely living up to its hype. 27 teams competing across the country. And sometimes I feel there's not enough being said about the organization, the management behind this whole concept. This very dream bringing competitive cricket to the Americas. I mean, credit to the folks out there who have worked extremely hard in the last year or so. I mean, despite the challenges, I mean, obviously COVID being, one of the distracting factors, didn't really let them shy away from their planning, bringing in professionalism to this whole league. Credit to MLC, in particular, shout out to Samir, Justin, rest of the crew. I bet there have been dozens of folks, I mean, who've been pretty much in the background, not visible, working extremely hard in the background to make this such an incredible event, a very successful event. In a lot of ways, kind of setting up or setting history here in the USA to kick off or kickstart a very professional, strong league, which essentially the vision really is for this to end up being a feeder, if you will, into the Major League Cricket concept that is expected to commence next year, and Dallas expected to be one of the major destinations. It's a great first innings by St. Louis, 176. To be specific, the Mustangs will be chasing. I stand corrected, chasing 182, 183 to win. Ryan Khan Patan, current Canada international player, on strike, with Wakas on the non-striker's end. Bowling proceedings for St. Louis with bowler number 5, Paris Mamraha. Good ball there, Ryan, wasting no time, trying to go after the bowling. Whitish outside the off stump. Clearly a huge task here for the Mustangs team. By no means going to be an easy total. Again, credit to St. Louis putting on a solid total, 183. Pretty sharp single there. Good understanding, though, between the batsmen. No confusion. End of the day, very comfortable single. So, Jay, I mean, great start. The way St. Louis set up the innings. Starting off a little cautiously, losing some wickets early on, but came back very strong, especially the skipper. Wonderful example there as a skipper, right? I mean, I thought he did an incredible job batting.
Yeah, Shaji, the way Jacobus he batted was really excellent. Like he held back, and then going through those 7 to 14 overs, crucial 7 to 14 overs, just taking single doubles whenever possible, not taking any chance whatsoever. And then like when they got an opportunity with Bird coming and bowling that quickers, that really helped him to open his arms, and then like from then he was unstoppable. So Waqar Salim, and that's a full toss. Hit it over the bowler's head, just falling a couple of inches inside the boundary. So that's the first boundary for Irving Mustangs. So Shaji, I believe like Ryan and Mohammad Waqas, they're going to go after the bowling right from the go, because it's a pretty big target, 9 runs per over, and they really cannot like afford to slow down at any point of time.
A flat six there. Beautiful shot there by Wakas. Taking full advantage of the fielding restrictions. A flat six to long on. Seems to be very clear with his intentions, both batsmen. You got a boundary and then a beautiful six, a flat six to long on. Absolutely, Jay. Great innings. Firstly, again, kind of acknowledging what St. Louis was able to do. But you're spot on. I think intentions for the Mustangs team pretty clear. I'm sure in their minds they're thinking of taking advantage of the power play, going after the bowling, putting some pressure back on the bowlers, and hopefully to build some momentum and take advantage of the power play.
Yes, Shaji, and the way you see the fielding, they are already in the defensive mode. All the fielders inside the circle are like literally standing on the edge of the circle, and two fielders long on and the mid wicket boundary. So St. Louis team also immediately going on the defensive mode. Probably they will try to force the batsmen to go for single doubles and not give boundaries or sixes. But the good thing for Irving Mustangs is both these batsmen are very seasonal. They have played the highest level of cricket, and they are very attacking batsmen. They're not going to slow down whatsoever. So it will be interesting to see how these 6 overs go. End of over number 1, 11 runs. Very good start for Irving Mustangs. First over, 11 runs. And both these batsmen are excellent hitters of the ball. Ryan Khan Patan, in particular, the Canada national player, now going to face the first ball of second over. Siddharth Trivedi, right arm medium, bowling from the south end in this beautiful McKinney ground. Ryan Khan Patan on strike. Drifting down towards leg. Umpire calls it a leg by. A good run up and excellent straight arm action there. Another good ball of good length. Waqar Salim just playing it down towards the backward point. No runs there. Shaji, one thing interesting I see is a fielder on the deep square leg. a nice ball, like pitching almost like six stump and then moving it outside. It's a nice, decent medium pace there. So for 3 balls, they have Siddharth Trivedi has not given any room to the batsman to really go take the aerial route. Ball moving further away after pitching wide outside off. So wide called by the umpire. Umpires for the game today, Samir Mandedkar and Partha, who have umpired for some of the top games in across US. Very experienced campaigners. Another ball outside off, pitching good length. Vikas just steering it down towards the third man, and another single. So far the over has been like very calm for the Irving Mustangs teams. Siddharth Trivedi has bowled well so far. Just that one wide, like moving wide outside the off stump. So it's 13 for no loss, 1.3 overs bowled so far. It seems like Ryan Khanparan was waiting for that ball, pitching outside off, moving away slightly, but he hit the strike was so clean, going over the covers for a massive 6. So after some quiet dot balls, the big 6 comes, and the score moves on to 20 now. It's a good comeback by Siddharth. After bowling that wide outside off, he bowls like almost on the middle stump. Very good length, and defended by Ryan Khanparan. The score, end of 2 over score, is 20 for no loss. So very good start for the Irving Mustangs. So Shaji, like, what do you think? Like the who is going to be the key batsman from Irving Mustangs perspective? Like we saw Jacobus from St. Louis, who really held his nerve and played a long innings. Like initially his strike rate was around 80, and then like that 1 over changed the complete scenario.
Well, Jay, I think they do have a few, right? You had to do a comparison. I mean, to Jacobus, I would think Ryan has a very similar approach, right? I mean, clean striker. Although, I mean, Jacobus, I mean, was understandably a little guarded early on. Ryan likes to go after the bowling. But what will be interesting, Jay, I think, in fact, has been a factor today, right? From one side, the wind playing a very important, I mean, it's had its own role. I mean, not to take away anything from the big hitting that St. Louis was part of, but with the wind, with the slight wind, I mean, nice little wind blowing towards the roadside, and a lot of sixers boundaries in that direction. In fact, I think Wakas was able to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how St. Louis actually decides to kind of defend that end, if you will, so that they don't leak too many runs, just the way Mustangs did. Change in bowling. Have a new Joshua Kind starting off with his first over. Shot in length. Pretty good lift there from the ball, hitting the seam to the keeper's hands. But again, I think Jay, it's going to be key on how the Mustangs actually handle this end, right? Hopefully, they'll be able to generate and bring in some runs, some extra runs on this end, and play a little cautiously on the other. But then, nice looking straight drive, straight to the fielder and mid off. Pretty compact infield. Got a backward point cover, mid off, mid on. Have a deep mid wicket. Have a sweeper cover, a square leg, and a short fine leg. Obviously, with the restrictions, with just two fielders being out. A huge swing there. And a six. Shot in length. The ball coming into Wakas's body. Losing no time and coming behind the ball. Pulling it to mid wicket, more on the square side for a six. Looking in good touch. Wakas unfortunately wasn't part of runs in the last game. So obviously clearly understands that. And so far in the couple of overs, showing intent, looking very good, very comfortable. A low full toss, lobbed in the air to the whitish mid-on fielder. Straightforward catch. Sort of mistiming the shot because a little leading top edge there. Meant to sort of play wide of mid-on. It did look that way at least, but easy dismissal, a very soft dismissal, and obviously the break that St. Louis was looking for. So with that, the score 26 for the loss of one wicket. The third over in progress. And the batsman in Rahman Dar at number 3, current Team USA under-19 player. It's been in prime form. He's been doing really well the last few tournaments. So I'm sure would be looking forward to this innings. And of course, St. Louis would love to continue to build on this momentum and keep getting wickets at regular intervals.
Kashaji, that was quite unfortunate dismissal for Wakas. So far, he was looking really good. Kind of a low full toss. It's always hard to play a low full toss ball, particularly when you're trying to go clear the field. So probably taking a thick edge and a simple catch to mid on, rather. Rahman Dar, excellent player. And I feel proud because I used to open with him. So so I have seen him. Yeah, very talented player, left hand player. So the foolish ball, Ryan just swings and misses, almost to Yorker length outside off. What I felt, Shaji, is like the St. Louis bowlers. There's so much of variation in the way they're pitching the ball. Like, it's short, it's like full, it's like York. They're not keeping like one length. So as a batsman, like you really don't know like what type of ball you're going to face. Another one probably pitching a good length but wide outside off, and plays towards the cover just for a single, and that's the end of the over number 3. It's 27 for 1. Ryan Khanparan is playing on 8 of 7 balls with 1 6, and Rahman Dar is yet to face a ball. So Paras Marwaha comes back to bowl his second over. First over costed him 11 runs. From the south end, uh, Ryan Khan is taking the strike to face the first ball of over number 4. I would say still a very well balanced game, Shaji, because it all depends on like how Irving Mustang plays their innings in next 2-3 overs, and also like at least one batsman takes the key anchor role and plays out the entire 20 overs. A kind of quick outside off. Ryan plays it down to the short third man area, and then batsman complete a quick single, and Rahman Dar is ready to face his first ball. Another quicker one onto his thighs. Rahman Dar wastes no time, plays it towards the mid wicket area and takes a quick single. So Ryan Pathan is back on strike. The score moves on to 29. Um, we are in the fourth over now. Very well bowled. Ryan leans forward and plays the ball back to the bowler. Another good ball off his thighs and plays it towards the short mid wicket area, and the batsman complete a quick single. So a good bowling so far, just 3 singles coming off 4 deliveries. A nice looking clean shot played towards the long on area by Rahman, and batsman complete a comfortable single. So a very quiet over so far, over number 4. 4 singles coming off 5 deliveries, and let us see how Ryan treats the 6th ball. Another quicker one played towards the fine leg area. Batsman run hard to complete a quick double. So that's good running between the wickets by both these batsmen. 6 runs comes off that over number 4, and the score moves on to 33 for 1. So Ryan Khan Patan is on 12, 11 balls with 1 6. Rahman Dar 2 balls and two runs, 2 singles. So so far the run rate for Irving Mustang looks good. They don't have to worry or do silly things. Just keep on pushing for those single doubles, and at least a 4 or 6 every over. Required run rate is up to 9.4. 150 runs needed in 16 overs. Siddharth Trivedi comes back to bowl from the north end of this McKinney cricket ground. Rahman Dar is facing. Balls outside off. Ball drifts down further towards the offside. Rahman Dar lets it go. Does not offer any shot. So some tight bowling last over and the first ball of the fifth over. As a straight ball played probably Rahman Dar played too early. The ball goes very high in the sky and fielder after initial fumble hold on to held the catch and Rahman Dar is out. So two quick wickets for Irving Mustangs. Mohammad Waqas getting out of a thick edge, and Rahman Dar also probably trying to play too early. Holds up his ball straight up in the air and comfortable catch taken by the fielder in the cover. So Morley, the fielder on the cover, takes the catch. So two down for Irving Mustangs, 33 for 2. So Ninad Nimbalkar is the new batsman who is who is the non-striker because the batsman did cross the crease. So Ryan Khan Pathan comes back to the strike. It will be interesting to see how Ryan approaches his innings after these two quick wickets. So Sai is back with me for the commentary. So welcome back, Sai. What do you think now that Irving Mustangs have lost two quick wickets? They still have a lot of good batsmen to come in. So it will be interesting to see how Ryan approaches his innings. Bowling down the leg, a wide down the leg. The score moves on to 34 for 2.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Mustangs respond to the second wicket. However, like you said, at the moment, I think they should just stick to their game plan, try and score as much as they can through the power play, because, like you said, they have plenty of batsmen coming afterwards too. That was a ball pitched on middle and off, and takes it and lifts it over mid wicket for a boundary. Ryan has to. I feel Ryan should stick to his natural game. He plays an attacking style of game, and he needs to stick to that. He has plenty of batsmen, like you suggested, Jay, who can kind of rally around him. So it's important that he continues to play the way he typically does. That's aggressive running by Ryan, and Ninad just dropped the ball in front of square on the offside and took off for a single. All the fielders, even though are within the circle, have been kind of hanging back at the line at the circle, but gives the Mustangs plenty of opportunities to just steal runs and keep the scoreboard ticking, and also keep changing ends for the batsman, and just give something else for the bowler to think about when he's coming into bowl. Ninad is on strike for the first time. St. Louis makes some changes here. They have a sweeper cover out on the outside as the only fielder outside the circle at the moment. Ball outside off. Ratninath just drops to backward point. Fielder that was moved to that position just before this delivery. The bowler's keeping a good tight line, bowling wicket to wicket. Ninath can't do much with that. Tucks it down to square leg where they had a fielder position. No run off the last ball. At the end of 5 overs, Mustangs are 39 for 2. They're still going at close to 8 runs an over, which is pretty good. But the required run rate is climbing slightly to 9.6 runs per over. They still have 90 balls to go, but 144 runs required.
Yes, I. That's a interesting strategy. Like the bowler. So what St. Louis have done is like they're changing the bowlers quickly. Like I mean, they're not like continuing the same bowler from the same end. Like um Joshua Kind was bowling from the north end. Now he's being moved to the south end, and Siddharth Trivedi was moved from north to south. And also like St. Louis bowlers, they're not sticking to just one line, and you could see like they are changing the changing the length of the ball, it's changing the line of ball, bowling good length, short, or like wide or full. So it kind of um, unsettles the batsman that they would be expecting. They cannot really expect a one similar kind of ball all the time. So pretty intelligent bowling from St. Louis so far, even though they did have a couple of big overs in the initially, but I think the last 2 or 3 overs they have come back really strong, and then getting those 2 quick wickets. Another one like bowled wide outside off, so probably that could be their strategy to drag Ryan outside off, who really likes the ball to come to him rather than reaching out. So that's a kind of interesting strategy, dragging him outside off. So probably in the process he might end up getting a couple of sixes, but there are chances of getting thick edges also. Interesting to see they don't have a third man for that length.
Good observation, Jay. Yeah, Josh is bowling wide outside off. He was getting, when he pitched up, he was getting a little bit of swing outside. Uh, the ball kind of leaving Ryan. You're right. With the way Ryan bats, there's always a chance for him to swipe at the ball kind of taking an edge and going to third man. But I also wonder if, with the wind kind of blowing this way, I think St. Louis is being a little shrewd because if it takes an edge, it's probably going to carry over the boundary. Ryan just places it inside the circle, between the point and cover fielders, and scampers through for a single. It's been a good over so far for St. Louis. No boundaries or sixes of this over. Right. There's been one extra and then a single. That should be a wide. You can see Josh is getting a good, when he can keep it on the stumps. He's getting, and if he pitches it up, he's getting a good outward movement um, with his action. It'll be interesting to see how he can control his line a little better. He's already bowled 2 balls, 2 extra deliveries, 2 wides, but he's been sticking to a wide outside the off line so far this over. Pulled the line back a little, just dropped it slightly short. Ninad tried to drop the ball into the outside field, take off for a single, but Rayan was not interested. Ninad was quick to turn back and get to his crease before the fielder from backward point could come in and take a shot at the stumps.
Yes, I think like Josh is sticking to the plan, like bowling outside off, even though probably he sees that the ball is swinging further away. He's still keeping the ball outside off. So this is the shot I was talking about. That was probably not a good ball given everybody on the offside behind the stump is within the circle. So bowling wide outside off gives enough room for Nina to open his arms and play the ball above the backward point boundary for a 4. So some consolation for the batters there, given it's been very slow, 8 to 10 balls. So the first boundary comes up, and Inad moves on to 4 of 4, and the score moves to 46 for 2. From Irving Mustang's perspective, I think something to worry is the net run rate required, which is 9.7 at this time. So they have to keep on pushing for at least single or doubles almost every ball, and then get these boundaries or sixes whenever they get an opportunity.
That's a good strategy that Irving will try to implement. They're going to try and get 4 or 5 singles and maybe at least 1 4 or a 6 every over. That was cleverly played by Ninad. He was a short ball onto the body. He just dropped it into the leg side. They tried to get 2 but were restricted to a single. The Mustangs are now 47 at the end of 6 overs. That's the end of power play. And the field restrictions ease. It'll be interesting to see how St. Louis deploys their field now and how the Mustangs respond to keep up with the score.
Yeah, now the interesting phase of the game. Sai, like I think 7 to over number 13 to 14. It would be interesting to see how what would be the strategy or approach of St. Louis team, whether going offensive or defensive. At the same time, like Irving Mustangs, whose required run rate is 9.7, approach this phase because they really cannot afford to have an over where they don't have a boundary at least, or a big over, couple of big overs, which kind of eventually reduces the required run rate. So I hear that Empire Partha is warning the fielding team of the slow over rate. Over number 7, the first ball, Ninad plays it towards the backward point and wide-ish third man for a single, quick single. One thing about Ninad Sai is like his transformation, right? If you have seen him like 2-3 years ago, he has become so athletic and his game has improved a lot. Like he can play 360-degree anywhere, and it's like a phenomenal transformation from a fitness perspective, from the way he approaches the game. He goes slow and then like he eventually accelerates. So another ball, Siddharth Trivedi, slightly outside off, pitching shot, a swing and a miss by Ryan Khanparan. Probably he is quite frustrated to miss out that scoring opportunity, is 48 for 2, 6.2 overs bowled. I would, I feel like St. Louis are approaching the St. Louis are following the defensive approach. You see like four fielders in the inside circle, all standing in the at the edge. So literally like batsmen have every opportunity to go for a single of every ball. Just tap it and run quick single.
That's right, Jay. I think that's a good observation. Irving will do well to kind of take note of that. Keep the scoreboard ticking by dropping the ball. If they can score a big boundary, to just drop the ball around and get a single every ball. That way, they can just focus on putting the bad ball away, and they'd still end up getting enough runs to match the run rate, if not score more than what's required. Again, just thinking about this, the way St. Louis went about their innings, they were scoring at about 7 runs an over until the 15th over, and then they launched a great assault on the bowling. Irving will do well to kind of keep that in mind, keep their wickets in hand, keep the scoreboard ticking, and then once they have a little more, and kind of launch into an attack later on in the innings if they have enough wickets in hand. They do definitely have the firepower to take the the bowlers on. Just they just need to stick to their plan for now.
Yeah, I do agree, Sai. Like I think batters should not get frustrated and try slogging and getting out, playing a silly shot. I'm sure the batters are like enough experienced that this is a very crucial phase, at least for next 4 to 5 overs. So a kind of short ball outside off, but Ryan Khanpatan does well to really go back and pull it towards the deep mid wicket boundary for a four. So four comes up. The score moves on to 54 at the end of 7 overs. Um, so so I think I think Ryan Khanpatan holds the key now for the Irving Mustangs team. He has to play long innings, uh, probably stay all 20 overs or even before that, um, for Irving Mustangs. The score is 54. We need 129 runs in 13 overs, 8 wickets remaining. The required run rate is now 9.9. So, Sai, like, what do you think? Like, as a, I mean, if Irving Mustangs captain should start getting concerned, the run rate, right? So right now it's 9.9. At what point he has to really ask his batsmen to go after the bowling?
I think they've been keeping the required run rate below 10 and over so far, and they've been doing a good job. Like we've been discussing, of putting the bad balls away, getting those singles, doubles, and then kind of getting a boundary of at least one ball the last in every over. We now have a bowling change from the south side. Um, it's it's Jacobus who had a great hand with the bat, who comes in with his left arm orthodox spin. And back to what you were asking, Jay. I think anytime the run rate creeps up over 14 is when I would really start to panic. Until then, these guys can easily score 12 runs and over without any trouble, if they have enough batting left at the death. So, I don't think it's way too early for the Irving Mustangs to panic. Even though it's a 2020 game, there's still a lot of game left. So let's keep watching.
Unfortunate for Ninad, who tried to probably play towards the cover, drags the ball inside the stump, and is bowled out. So third wicket falls for Irving Mustangs. Ninad Nimbalkar out bowled Ryan. Oh, sorry. Ryan Khanpadan is out, bowled by Jacobus. So excellent day for Jacobus so far after having a great time with the bat. Now comes into attack and gets Ryan Khanpadan, who was looking really good, out for 23 of 21 with 2 4s and 1 6. So third wicket down for Irving Mustangs. It is 55 for 3 over number 7, over number 8.
Pushed a long off for a single. Irving Mustangs 56 for 3 in 7.4, needing 127 in 12.2 overs. Required run rate going above 10 runs an over now. Need of the hour for Irving Mustangs is to push the run rate. That's a great field placement by St. Louis. They have 5 inside the circle, cutting off the quick singles. Quick single to third man. Trying for a double. That was pretty close. Better throw, and that could have been out. As they often say, never run on a misfield. The second run was pretty close. A direct hit would have probably seen him going back to the pavilion. We have Ninad and Ali Sheikh on the crease for Irving Mustangs. Irving now requiring more than 10 runs and over. Strong appeal for an LBW, but looked like there was bat involved. Paras bowling left arm over with the wind. There's a strong breeze for the batsman to clear the ground. But Paras playing with his length. That's a wide. Not giving the length that the batsman is looking for to get underneath the ball. Cut away to point. That should just be a single. Irving Mustangs cruising along, 5:59 for 3 in 8.3 overs. Beautiful sunny day here at McKinney Cricket Grounds in Dallas, Texas. A wonderful ground. They just got some floodlights for both the grounds here. So beautiful venue to play at. Excellent, excellent bowling from Paras. Great lengths. Lap shot, looking for 2. And that's all they would get. Irving Mustangs in need of desperate boundaries now. 62 in 8.5 overs. Loss of 3 wickets and 1 ball to go from Paras. Bowled beautifully again. Glanced away for a single, looking for 2, and that's good running for Irving Mustangs. 2 runs picked up well within the 30-yard circle. Irving Mustangs at 64 for 3 in 9 overs. Needing 119 in 11 overs. That's about 12 runs an over. There's a big task ahead of Irving Mustangs. The batsmen on the crease, as well as everybody that's going in. Irving Mustang requiring desperate boundaries now, as the run rate's creeping up about 12 runs and over. Straight back to the bowler and caught. Let's see if the umpire gives it out. Yes, he has, and the batsman's also walked. That looked like it was dipping on the cotton bowl chance. That's an excellent cotton bowl by Costa. Gets Ali Sheikh out. 2 of 7 balls. Cotton bowled. Irving Mustang 64 for 4 in 9.2. Irving Mustangs have Ninad batting at 14 from 14 balls, and now he's joined by Rohan Manekar. Required run rate is over 12 at the moment. Costa bowling with the wind, making it difficult for the batsman to clear the ground. It helps him that he has a new batsman at the crease. That's a dot ball outside off. The St. Louis Americans team has bowled really well, playing along with the lengths, not giving any room or length for the Irving batsman to capitalize on. Excellently bowled again. Driven down to long off for a single. St. Louis doing a wonderful job right now in this game. Cut away to backward point, cleaned up just for a single. St. Louis have a back-to-back game with Irving Mustangs tomorrow, again at McKinney in the morning though. It's a 10 a.m. start tomorrow. Again, driven down. Kostab had a chance to stop that single off his own bowling, but that's a great over. Irving Mustang 67 for 4. Mustangs requiring 116 in 10 overs, about 12 runs an over here from here on. They do have 6 wickets in hand, and that's a good sign for them. The next over coming up is over number 11. Bowling against the wind. Bowling over number 11 for St. Louis is Murli. He has to watch his lengths because he's bowling against the wind and there's a strong breeze for the batsman to clear the ground. Length ball hit straight, and that's a 6. That's a huge one. That's a brilliant shot by Rohan. As I said, Murli has to watch his length bowling from this end. Another length ball, but wide of off. Overthrows to mid wicket now. That's a single for Rohan. Murli really needs to watch his length from this end. The desperation of the Irving Mustangs to score boundaries can cost him a lot. Driven again, one more missed field in short covers. Cleaned up by extra cover. That's only a single. Irving Mustangs need a lot of overs like this if they have to pull this off. Again, over pitch delivery. Huge 6 over long on. That ball is still traveling. You probably need a car to get that ball back. Uber or Lyft might want to sponsor this league. Murli hasn't been able to watch his length bowling from this end. There's a strong breeze across, and the batsman's hitting with it. St. Louis wasn't expecting this kind of an over from Murli. Over pitched again, but there's a ball angled in, looking for two. Brilliant running by Irving Mustangs, and there's an overthrow as well, but cleaned up. That ball barely crossed the 30-yard circle, and Irving Mustang were able to run two. Ninad doing a great job. Final ball of the 11th over full toss. Driven down to long off for a single. Quite an expensive over for St. Louis. The end of 11 overs. Irving Mustangs are 84 for the loss of 4 wickets. The required run rate coming down to 11 runs and over from 12. For Irving Mustangs, Ninad playing a sheet anchor role while Rohan being the aggressor. Irving Mustangs needing a lot more overs like the 11th over from St. Louis. But it's not going to be easy from this end. St. Louis bringing back Jacobus. After an expensive 11th over. Hoping for good results. Over pitched. Just looking for a single. That's overthrows. Irving Mustangs getting 2 runs of the first ball of the 12th. St. Louis sloppy on the field for the last couple of overs, costing them a few runs. Appeal for LBW, but that probably was a glove onto the pads. Irving Mustangs missing Corey Anderson and Najaf Shah, 2 big names today, but trying to put on a fight, and that's a late cut. St. Louis have a deep point. St. Louis have a deep point. Extra cover, long off, long on, and a mid wicket. Batsman hitting against the wind. Length ball from Jacobus. Pushed again within the 30-yard circle. At the edge of the 30-yard circle, looking for 2. That was close. A direct hit would have had him. But Irving Mustangs looking for runs now. Desperate for it. I must say that's good running by both the batsmen, Ninad and Rohan. Moving across. Late card for a single. Ninad batting on 19 of 18. Moving around the crease, trying something different against Jacobus, who's bowling good line and lengths. Rohan on strike. Driven to short covers. Who is fielding at the 30-yard circle. Couldn't save the single. That's another single. That's 91 for 4 to Irving Mustangs after 12. They need 92 in 8 overs. This, ladies and gentlemen, is turning out to be a great game. Probably going to go down to the wire because this beautiful outfield in McKinney will reward any good shots played in the outfield. The local Dallas crowd is sending me texts that if Corey and Najaf were here, the story was going to be different. It would have been one-sided. But ifs and buts, we can have a lot of them, but it is what it is. Irving Mustangs putting on a brave fight here, trying to take it down to the wire. I wish I could turn the cameras around to show you the big Dallas crowd that has gathered here to watch the minor league cricket games. But we don't want to turn the camera off or turn it around because we don't want you to miss the action. Overpitched, driven to covers for a single. Joshua Kind bowling from the Aziz Saul end. Big shot! Falling in between short covers and covers. Didn't time it as well as he wanted to, but the intention was clear. He was trying to get underneath the ball, going for the big hit. Huge shot played, but completely missed the line and the length. Irving Mustangs need a lot of boundaries to pull this off, and this is the right end for them to do that. Another big shot offered, but Joshua's been really good with his bowling, mixing up his length, his pace, and changing those lines. Rohan Manekar. Desperation for Irving Mustangs right now. Required run rate creeping up above 13. Another length ball, beautifully struck. Over long off. Brilliant shot for a 6. Rohan doing his bit here for Irving Mustangs. 29 of 16 balls. That's 8 runs of the over so far from Joshua. One more ball to go. Irving Mustangs on 99. The St. Louis team on the ground cheering up their bowler, encouraging him. Another length ball. Huge shot tried to mid wicket, but probably the wrong line. He probably would have connected if he had tried to play it to long off or long on. At the end of 13 overs, it's 99 for 4. 84 required of 7 overs. If that's a score that's possible, it's possible only on this ground. It's a brilliant outfield for the team batting to score some boundaries. St. Louis Americans bringing Murli from the other end now, hoping that he can do better there. Murli's first over was really expensive for 17 runs. Rohan on strike. Pardon me, Ninad on strike. That's a length ball by Murli, driven to point. Brilliant fielding. A diving save. Saved 3 runs there for St. Louis. That's 100 up for Irving Mustangs. Length ball from Murli, driven to covers just for a single. So far, so good for Murli and St. Louis Americans. Murli doing a better job with his length from the other end. Ninad looking for a big hit now. Delicate dab to short third man for a single. That's 3 balls and only 3 runs. Irving Mustangs needing boundaries desperately right now. Required run rate keeps creeping on with good overs bowled by St. Louis. Again, one more delicate shot for a single. I assume Irving Mustangs not looking for boundaries or losing wickets from that end. Murli boring with the covers, long on, long off, mid wicket and square leg. Trying to complete this over. Ninad moving around again, just looking for a single. 5 balls, 5 singles from Murli, and that's what St. Louis wanted. They also want him to complete the over strong. So 1 ball to go. Hoping for a good one. Yes, it is. Another single. That's a great over by Murli. Coming back strong for St. Louis. Just 6 singles of that over. Irving Mustangs needing 78 of 6 overs. That's more than 12 runs an over. Our resident statistician tells me that the first innings was also on par with the second innings, and anything can happen. In my experience here in Dallas for 15 years, I think this is the ground where it can be done. It's a beautiful outfield. Hitting with the wind now. Length ball again, a big shot that's cleared long off. Rohan about to decap one of his teammates. All his teammates clearing up the dressing room. That was hit straight to the benches. A brilliant shot by Rohan. This is the end for Irving Mustangs. Rohan 38 of 21, striking at 180. Another overpitch ball, and that's a huge shot. That's on me. That was hit straight towards me. Straight as an arrow. Brilliant shot. Back-to-back sixes for Rohan. Paras bowling against the wind, struggling with his length. He is bowling outside the off, but the wind is kind of creating that dip for Rohan to clear the ground. 12 runs of the two balls so far. Quicker one, straight on the stumps. Rohan pushes that for a single. To short square. Ninad on strike now for Irving Mustangs. He's batting on 23 of 22. Irving Mustangs will need him to strike at a better rate. If Irving Mustangs have to pull this off, both Ninad and Rohan have to contribute. That's cut away, but straight to point. No run. That's a dot ball. That's gold at this moment. Paras giving away 13 runs of the 3 balls that he's bowled of this over. 4 balls that he's bowled of this over. Coming down the stumps for a big shot. Paras playing with his length and his line. Bowls outside off. That's stumped. Ninad is out for 23 of 24 balls. He tried to anchor the innings, but when he had to push for it, he couldn't. Next man in is Nash Tosh Kenjige for Irving Mustangs. Paras turning it into a good over for St. Louis, taking the wicket of Ninad. He was playing the sheet anchor role. Scored 24 of 25 balls. Was holding the innings together. The umpires discussing the quality of the radios. Last ball from Paras. Last ball of a spell 2. 3.5 overs. 36 for 1. Hoping to finish off with another wicket or a dot ball as the best result. It's Nostos Kenjige on strike. Current USA cricket player. Cut away. Straight to the fielder's hand, but a misfield will get them a single. That's 14 runs of the 15th over from Paras. Making this game a little more interesting with those 2 sixes from this over. Rohan Manekar batting at 45 from 23 balls. 5 big sixes, not a boundary so far, but 5 huge hits. But he's always picked his end. And the 16th over is not that end that he likes. It's 119 for 5 in 15 overs. Irving Mustangs requiring 64 of 5 overs with 5 wickets in hand. On the crease is Nostos Kenjige, who's on strike, and Rohan Manekar, who's batting on 45 of 23 balls with 5 sixes. Murli coming for his 3rd over. Length ball. Brilliant change of pace. Slower ball. Just dabbed for a single. Murli bowling his 3rd over. He's bowled 2.1 for 24 runs, having an economy rate of 11.5. Length ball, big hit, but completely missed the line. Rohan desperate for boundaries now to get Irving across to the win. Probably going to be a slower ball. It is. And a length ball from Murli. Excellent change-up. Just for a single. Murli's done really good from the other end. His first over was expensive for 17 runs. But since then, he's only given away 8 in a over and a half. Again, just a single to covers. Just 3 runs of the over so far. That's a Yorker, and that's given. LBW. Brilliant bowling by Murli. What a comeback it has been for Murli after his first over for 17 runs. He's bowled 11 balls from the other end, giving away just 8 runs and picking up the important wicket. Murli picks the important wicket of Rohan Manekar. Striking at about 180. Rohan must be disappointed, but he was left with no choice. He had to go for it. Irving Mustangs requiring to fire from both ends now. Brilliant innings from Rohan. Young batsman from North Texas. It's brilliant to watch the crowd enjoying some paratha, keema paratha here. A nice Dallas crowd gathered here for the minor league game. Another shout for LBW. Umpire signals as high. What a brilliant over from Murli. Just giving away 5 runs and picking up the important wicket of Rohan. "61 required from 4 overs for Irving Mustangs. Third umpire passing on the information to the on-field umpires that St. Louis is 3 overs. Irving Mustangs requiring 61 in 4 overs. Joshua. Length ball. Big outside edge going towards third man boundary. Cut off. Looking for 2 and they do get 2. Nosh looking for a big hit, getting a big outside edge. Another length ball, big hit. But nothing coming off it. That's another dot ball. Two runs of 2 balls from Joshua's 17th over. There's a cloud cover now over the ground, and the sun is not shining as it was. Length ball, beautifully driven down the ground. Good work by Murli at long on. Murli, great job keeping it down to a single. Beautiful bowling. Another dot ball. Adnan trying to cut. Nowhere close to the ball though. Irving Mustangs needing 58 from 20 balls. Length ball, big hit, straight to short third. Joshua gets his second wicket. Adnan makes his way out of the ground, and the next batsman is Mihir. I wish I could show all of you the big crowd that's gathered here from Dallas, but we don't want to move away from the action in the middle. Last ball. Big hit again, top edge, and that's caught by Point. Joshua getting his third. He's on a hat trick. But that's the end of the over. And end of his spell. So he's going to be on a hat trick on his next spell. Joshua has a game tomorrow against Irving Mustangs at 10 a.m. Well, I've been informed by gentlemen of the game that it wouldn't count if he gets a wicket off his first ball tomorrow, because it has to be a hat trick, has to be in the same game. It can be different innings in a same game, but it has to be the same game. The gentleman is none other than Aziz Saul, the ever wise. And now I'm getting text messages from the audience that we can adjust the rules just to get Joshua his hat trick in the next game. Murli, back to bowl. Thick outside edge, looking for a run out, but that's Mihir's in the crease. Irving Mustangs requiring 57 out of 17 balls now. Difficult, but not impossible. Irving Mustangs needing a blinder from both the batsmen. Again, a length ball. Big shot played, big inside edge to square leg. None of the Irving batsmen have been able to time the ball as well as Rohan did. Rohan seemed like he was playing on a different surface against a different attack. Outside off, short, and it's pushed to short mid-wicket. Again, indication that the batsman is not able to time the ball. Murli doing really good in his last 3 overs from after the change of ends, after conceding 17 from his first over. Excellent comeback from Murli. Thick outside edge. That's 4 runs to third man. Murli bowling a quicker one now. Didn't go for a short burst. Change of pace. .51 required of 2.2 now. Irving Mustangs 132 for 8. Driven to covers. Looking for 2. That's risky. That's a good throw, but hits the edge of the pitch. Didn't get to the keeper. 2 runs to Irving Mustangs. Last ball of the 18th over. On the stumps, full length ball, inside edge, down to fine leg. Mustangs pick up 2 more. They need 47 of the last 2 overs. Eleven runs of Murli's last over. He ends up with 4 overs, 37 for 1 wicket. But doing the job for St. Louis. Siddharth Trivedi back for St. Louis to bowl the penultimate over. If the audience doesn't remember who Siddharth Trivedi is, he is a IPL champion from Rajasthan Royals in 2007. The first ever edition of the IPL. He played along with Munaf Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, and the captain, Shane Warne. Short ball, thick edge, and down to fine leg for 2 runs. That's good bowling by Siddharth. Irving Mustangs needing more than 2s and 3s. They need some big hits right now. Brilliant hit off the middle of the bat, clears the boundary. That's a big 6 from Abhi to cow corner. Siddharth wouldn't want that in his remaining 3 balls. Would want to rectify his length and his line. Goes full, inside edge, to a short fine leg, looking for a single but sent back. That's a dot ball, and that's what Siddharth would have liked. Well, he would have liked a wicket, but the next best thing is a dot ball. Irving Mustangs 144 of 8 for 8 in 18.3. 18.4. That's full. Hiked away to mid wicket for 2 runs. Siddharth rectifying his length now after that huge hit from Abhiram. That shows the experience of this bowler. Irving Mustangs requiring 39 of 7 balls. Again a big hike, straight to mid wicket, cleaned up just for a single. The requirement is simple for Irving Mustangs, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 sixes required of an over. 2 wickets in hand. We just saw Abhiram hit a big 6 over mid wicket. He would like to have a couple of those in this 20th over. Interestingly, we have a spinner bowling the 20th over. Jacobus back to bowl his third. He's only given away 11 runs so far in his 2 overs and taken a wicket. Umpire checking if the long off fielder is within the playing area or not. Short ball driven to long off for a single. That should do it for Irving Mustangs. I think St. Louis have it in the bag. But we do have them coming back tomorrow for another game against Irving. 10 a.m. start tomorrow. It's a back-to-back fixture. Cut away for a single to short covers. Beautiful throw. I don't think Jacobus took off the bails in time. Irving Mustangs get 2 runs. Bring up 150 in the 20th over. Three runs of the 2 balls bowled so far. Again bowling short. Cut to short third man. No run. Bowling short again. Cut to point for a single. It's very evident what Jacobus is doing here. He doesn't want the batsman to get underneath the ball and clear the boundaries. He's bowled at a brilliant economy rate, below 6. Shot again. Cut for a single, looking for 2, and they're going for it off a misfield. Abhiram batting at 16 of 10 balls at a strike rate of 160, and Mihir 12 of 7 batting at a strike rate of 171. They were hoping that they had more time with this strike rate, that they could have made a difference for Irving Mustangs. But they do have a chance tomorrow. That's a wide, outside off, full. Trying to bowl that Yorker length outside off. Just erring a little. Very fine margins for a bowler these days. Short ball, hoiked away over mid wicket for a huge 6. Last ball of the innings goes for a big 6. Irving Mustangs end up with 160 for 8 in their 20 overs. What a win by St. Louis Americans, beating Irving Mustangs in their home ground by 23 runs in the first fixture. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one tomorrow at 10 a.m. Can Irving pull it back? We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. start. Hoping for a win for Irving Mustangs. They are 0-2 in their start of the minor league cricket, but they have missed their two superstars today, Corey Anderson, their captain, and Najaf Shah, their vice captain. This game has been played with wonderful spirit between both the teams. Both the teams making sure they congratulate each other. Abhiram finishing with 22 of 11 balls. Two big sixes at the very end. Striking at 200. And Mihir striking at 171. Ended up at 12 runs from 7 balls. They would have liked a little more time in the middle, hoping that they could have pulled it back for Irving Mustangs. Great job by both the umpires, Samir and Parth. And the third umpire, our resident expert in Texas, Aziz Saul. So if we have a change of rule, then we can have a possible hat trick tomorrow.
Why don't you add also century?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the coverage of the minor league cricket from McKinney, Texas. What a beautiful facility here. Thank you, Aziz Saul, for this facility. And thank you, McKinney City, for your continued support to cricket in North Texas. Thank you. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Toyota Minor League Cricket, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Presented by Sling TV, home of Desi Entertainment and Cricket.